some exercises and stretches for the piriformis and obturator internus, which are really useful for cyclists. First of all, lay down on your back, make a 4 sign with your legs, pull up your left leg with your hamstrings and try to feel the stretch in your deep glutes. It's the piriformis, it's the muscle down there. Feel the stretch. You can go a bit more, but make sure you don't wiggle around. Make sure that you have a good stable position of the pelvis. You can do it like 20 seconds. I will also show it in the other direction that you see it again. So if I lay down like this, make a 4 sign with your legs, pull up the hamstring of the flexed leg and try to stretch the muscles. Feel till where you can go. You can do that both sides. You can also make a 4 sign with this one and pull up this leg. Try to breathe 20 seconds through the stretch. Hold the stretch, don't go too far, but feel the stretch come. That's a real stretch. Also in this direction. Then after having stretched the piriformis, it's important to do some rotational movements to make sure that you loosen up all the hip rotators. Best stretch for that or movement mobilization exercise is making sure that you put your foot and your knees quite wide and then go touch down each side. I like it more if you're on the back like this and you touch down one side, touch down the other side. You try to keep the sacrum on the floor, but in the most outer position, in the most maximal stretching position. It's okay if it comes a little bit off the ground. So try to do it rotational and with movement. 10 times each side is actually what you want to reach. It's a perfect exercise. It can be really relaxing. You can pull up your knees a little bit closer, foot and knees a little bit closer, and then you feel the stretch coming up already a little bit differently, but you keep the stretch and rotational movement as much as possible in the hips, so that we're loosening up the hip rotators. Okay, I will repeat the same exercise in this position to make sure that you see it well enough. So open up the arms, legs and knees are wide, and then you go touch down and touch down and touch down and make it loosen up. If you feel like changing it a bit, put your foot a little bit closer to your pelvis and do the exact same rotational touchdown exercise. It's meant to loosen up, it's not meant to go up to maximal stretch. It's making sure that everything is loose and not cramping, not overstressed, not hypertoned. Okay, when you've done that exercise for the hip rotators, we go even a bit farther up. On the bicycle, you're always on the in the straight position. When you want to also get some rotation in the upper body, you can do an exercise which is really similar, but you just change the position of your feet and your knees. So after having them had in a wide position, you make sure you put your feet and your knees closely together. And in this position, you can also go and completely touch down with the knees at one side and touch down with the knees at the other side. Also, this exercise is much better if you do it laying down on the back. Spread your arms and really go to, here your pelvis is allowed to rotate, so your sacrum is allowed to come off of the ground to really rotate with your knees up to the direction you're going to. Rotate one side and rotate the other side. And you're also working on a mobilization exercise, and you feel the stretch now coming much more here in your upper body, where the iliopsoas, the abdominal muscles and your back muscles are being stretched and moved around a little bit. If you like the stretchy position, I even recommend to increase the stretch in the end point a little bit by using your right arm on the lowest part of your rib cage and using your left arm on the iliac wing, on your pelvis up here. And if you pull then your arms in the opposite directions, you will feel that you can increase the stretch a little bit. If you also breathe in really good, you feel that your diaphragm will also increase the stretch, which can be really relaxing in that end position. Also here you can do the same thing. You take your rib cage and your iliac wings and you increase the stretch a little bit. Breathe really well in and make sure you feel it stretching. So this exercise you can also repeat like 10 times. You can do it a little bit slower, but it's not moving the hip rotators anymore, but it's more moving up the thoracic spine. Really good exercise. And then if we think about the obturator internus, you have your iliopsoas muscles here going from your iliac wing and going from the lower back up to your legs, and that one is using or moving a lot on the bike. But it's supported by the stabilizer, which is inside of the pelvis, which is called obturator internus. If you want to stretch it, I've already showed you the exercises, but if you also want to strengthen it a bit more, to make sure that you're really well and really stable on the saddle, there are two really good exercises that I can recommend. I use one yoga block here. You can also use a towel or another way to increase one of your knees, but make sure that you can step up in for position, like with your hands on the ground, knees on the ground, one knee up onto the yoga block, and then really easy, you go touch down with one knee and you go up again and touch down with one knee and up again. And it's important to go slowly down and faster up, and slowly down and faster up, and slowly down and faster up. If you feel that you can even increase the internal rotation in the hips, so the going down part, you can also do it on a table, that you feel that you can lower your knee even a bit more. So that's a really good exercise. We'll also do it in this view, that you can have a look when I'm doing it in all fours from the sideways. So you see that I put my knee up on an increased step. I go down with this one and up. And down, I rotate inwards and up. And down again and up. Really good exercise to start with, to empower or to strengthen your obturator internus. If you want to go a bit farther and you want also to increase your core stability, you can even do another exercise for the obturator internus, which is internally rotating the knees. I use the yoga block now between my knees. It's in between my two knees, and I put a resistance band around my ankles. You can put a lower resistance band, or you can also use like a ball in between of your knees. But it's important that you've got something in between the knees and that you've got a resistance band around your ankles. Then you go and lay down on your back. You put your knees in 1990 and you just open up the foot and come slowly back in. Open up your foot and come back in. If I do this from sideways, you can also have a look from this view. So I open up my knees. It's easier actually to do it with a ball than a yoga block, because that's moving a bit too much. And come back in. Open up the knees, the foot, and come back in. Really good exercise. So there are a few simple exercises to make sure that you stretch the hip rotators
and you strengthen them. Those hip rotators are really important to make you stable on the saddle and improve your performance. Good luck!